What if the phone in your hand is really a map? A map of who owns the world, which country sits on more oil than anyone alive, and still can't cash it in, which desert quietly charges every electric car on Earth, and why does having the biggest pile of treasure sometimes mean almost nothing? Let's dig. Start with the one that breaks your brain. Venezuela holds the largest proven oil reserves on the planet, north of 300 billion barrels, most of it locked in the Orinoco Belt. On paper, that is the richest energy address in existence. In reality, the country has spent years struggling to pump, refine, and sell it. That gap between what you own and what you can actually use is the whole story of this video. Here's the idea most people miss. Owning a resource is not the same as controlling it. Control lives in the boring middle step. The crushing, the leaching, the smelting, the refining. Whoever runs that step sets the price, sets the queue, and decides who gets served first. The mine is the headline. The refinery is the power. Nobody understood this earlier than China. Rare earth elements, the 17 strange metals inside your speakers, your hard drive, your wind turbine, your fighter jet, are not actually rare in the ground. They exist in Brazil, Vietnam, the United States, Australia. What is rare is the willingness to do the filthy, chemical-heavy separation work. China took that job decades ago, and now dominates global processing. That means a country can dig up its own rare earths and still have to ship them abroad to be made useful. It's like growing your own coffee beans but owning no grinder, no roaster, no kettle. You have the crop. Someone else has the cup. And they decide what it costs. Now go south, to the driest desert on Earth. In Chile's Atacama, brine is pumped from under the salt flats into vast evaporation ponds that glow turquoise and gold from the air. Months of sun later, you get lithium, the beating heart of every rechargeable battery. Chile, alongside Argentina and Bolivia, forms the so-called lithium triangle, a stretch of empty desert that quietly powers your commute. Chile wears a second crown too. It is the world's largest copper producer, home to mines so vast they look like craters carved by a meteor. Copper is the nervous system of modern life: power cables, transformers, data centers, motors. An electric car can carry several times the copper of a petrol one. Electrify everything, and you need copper for everything. Then there's Indonesia, the king of nickel. Nickel is what makes a battery hold more energy and makes stainless steel resist rust. Indonesia is the largest producer on Earth, and here is the detail I really want you to keep. In 2020, it banned raw nickel or exports outright. Not to hoard it, to force something. The bet was simple. If you can't buy our rocks, come build your smelters here. And they came. Indonesia's exports of processed nickel products exploded in value compared to the raw ore it used to ship. It was a country reading exactly the lesson China learned first. Stop selling the ingredient, start selling the meal. Of course, the bill comes due elsewhere. Smelting is hungry, coal-fired power, cleared rainforest, tailings, and contaminated water. The Green Revolution has a dirty basement, and it is usually located in someone else's country. That trade-off is real, and pretending it isn't is how you end up with a clean car and a poison river. Australia plays a different game entirely. It is the giant of iron ore, feeding the steel that becomes skyscrapers, bridges, ships, and railways. Australia mostly ships the ore out rather than making the steel, but it does so at colossal scale with brutal efficiency. Massive automated mines, driverless trucks, dedicated ports. Different strategy, same result. Leverage. And one more that the usual list forgets. Cobalt. The Democratic Republic of Congo supplies the overwhelming majority of the world's cobalt, another key battery metal. Yet much of it is refined thousands of miles away. Biggest supplier, smallest slice of the profit. Once again, the value is not in the ground. It's in the machine that changes the ground into something useful. So look at your phone again. Nickel and cobalt in the battery. Rare earths in the speaker. Copper threaded through every circuit. Lithium from a desert you'll never visit. It isn't a device. It's a supply chain folded up and slipped into your pocket, and every fold belongs to someone. The real question for the next decade isn't who owns the biggest reserves. Venezuela already proved that trophy can gather dust. The question is who owns the refineries, the chemistry, the engineers, and the patience to do the ugly work in the middle. That's where power actually sits. So which one surprised you, the desert that charges your car, or the country that banned its own exports to build a better future? Tell me in the comments, and tell me who you think holds the real leverage 10 years from now. If you want more stories about how the world actually works underneath the headlines, subscribe. There's a lot more buried down here.